When I started recording this video, I had no idea that it was going to run to more than an hour. I had thought about cutting it in half, but what's the point? I know I'd get more watchers if I did that, but I really don't care. So I'm going to leave it as it is. If you're interested, you can watch it. If you're not interested, well, you know what to do. But it's just me and some reminiscences, rantings, a few little anecdotes, and riding the YB through some beautiful Cotswold countryside. Enjoy. You may know that I've been struggling with my cameras. In fact, ever since I got back more or less from Scotland. Anyway, I'm having one final go with the DJI Action 4. I bought a special adapter that may make it possible to be heard from inside the helmet. Here it is, and there is the adapter. And I'm hanging the GoPro 360 off the back that I will be operating in high definition mode, not in 360. Makes it more interesting to have the odd view from behind. And also I may use the audio from this camera because you may not be able to hear the bike properly otherwise. Let's see. But I'm finding the whole thing very frustrating indeed. The other thing I'm trying to do is to synchronize the cameras, which will enable me to use a different editing system. So let's see how it goes. Leg up. Aye, aye. Not pulling very well. Need to remember I'm still running this bike in. Somebody said to me the other day on YouTube, So will you be going out and buying an FS1E? In other words, a fizzy. So I said to him, absolutely not. I said, that is not my era at all. My era, my equivalent era was the little 1965 Honda C110 that I had a few years ago. That's what I started on. And what is ironic is the last bike that I had for any, in fact the very last bike I got after I got married was a Suzuki 250 GT, which I only had it for a month or two, nothing but trouble. But before that, for several years I had a Yamaha 80 Auto Lube, which in actual fact is the predecessor of this, what I'm on now, the YB100. Believe it or not, if you look at me, my wife and I both used to travel into Exeter every day on that bike to work, except when it was raining. When it was raining, I took the Hillman Imp. So that puts you back a few years. When I'm out at Long Newton, I just passed the church where my daughter was married. Yeah, I had many and varied bikes when I was younger. The Yamaha just struck me as a good little bike to use as a commuter bike. And I remember just after I was married and we moved into our house in Exeter, I remember riding it over Telegraph Hill, going down rather than coming up, it has to be said. And I have memories of what appeared to be a seizure, but I honestly don't think it was in the end, because the bike, we continued to use the bike for a good year or so, which is when I got the the 250, the Suzuki 250, and once that lemon thing, it was messing me around. Horses. I just decided to get rid of bikes altogether. So here they come. We do respect ladies on horses unless they're hunting. You're welcome. No problem. bike does make a funny noise. I don't think horses like it very much. Now I've gone up into neutral. Quarter and neutral there between second and third. Right, this is part of the run that we're going to do on Wednesday, all being equal. I don't have any wood to touch to comment on how the bike is going at the moment, but I think the trip to Whiz Beach was very worthwhile. Again, people on YouTube commenting saying, what the hell did you go all the way to Whiz Beach for to get the bike rebuilt? Well, having had the help of two different people, one of whom was a motorcycle mechanic of some 30 years experience, and he couldn't do what needed to be done, and I got a rebore of the wrong size and God knows what. You just can't find these people. So in the end, I managed to find this guy, and he's done a good job. Very happy with the price, which is a sort of more or less an engine, a top-end engine rebuild anyway. And that cost me about £450. Okay, I'd spent a bit of money before then, which was a waste of time. Should I overtake this cyclist? See me whoosh past him. Trying to keep to small roads this morning. There's no pleasure at all riding along on a busy road like the one we're about to encounter in a minute. Actually nodded at me. Well, the village split in half by that liming road. Got to take every opportunity to come out when it's dry
Even the most optimistic of English people or British people don't realise just how bad the weather has been. And if you look back to my ride to Scotland on this bike in June last year, which was in unbelievable weather, hot, literally hot. Sorry, I got distracted then, but since then, since August, we have had rain, rain, and rain. It's been absolutely foul, and I'm not talking about the kind of rain they have in parts of America where you have 70 inches overnight, but it's just miserable rain. This year, in June and July, we have actually had the heating on in the house. That's how bad it's been. Today is the 14th of July. Last night, I gave the heating a blast. Oh. I use a weather app and always have done for years since I was working as a tour guide, called forca.com, forca.com. Normally completely reliable. You know, you can look ahead 3 days and be, you know, what you see is what you get. Not this year. The weather's changed even within a 24-hour period. Now approaching the little village of Oaksea. This little post office just here ahead of us is where I buy my Christmas stamps. Something I should be buying less and less of, as to be said. Because to send a postcard, to send a card to America now, it's something like £2, which is just ridiculous. So all my friends over there may get an email instead. A round robin. Don't we just love them? He's supposed to be on the pavement, this guy, isn't he? Oh. What the hell is this coming along the pavement then? Never seen a remote control car quite that big. Now we're going to head off left up to Poole Keynes. Poole Keynes and then to Ewan. Don't like this gravel in the middle of the road here. This is often flooded just down here. I just hope it isn't today. Don't want to get the bike wet. No. Sunday cyclists out, they think they own the bloody road. One of the funniest times I went out with the lads on the mopeds on a run on a Sunday, and we went down through Castle Combe, of course observing the speed limit going down through there, only to be overtaken by a load of bicycles. So, and actually it's quite busy with people down there walking around. It's dangerous to drive through too fast. Anyway, I thought, right, we'll get them. And you go through the village, and then there's quite a steep hill. So we all bunched up and choked them with our blue smoke as we went up the hill. I hope all this is coming out, because if it isn't, I'm just wasting my breath talking. So this is the main line to London that we're going under. Pretty little road this actually, all round here. It's lovely. Another old church to my right, you can't see it, it's out of shot. This is Poole Keynes. All very Cotswold. So now I'm heading up to Ewan. Another GG. To be honest, if a horse is that frisky on the road, shouldn't be on the road. God. Yeah. He said thank you, she didn't. Bloody typical. I'll tell you another thing, the worst thing on... Here I am, I'm going to be misogynist now. On Sundays, the worst thing is horse boxes looking very unstable and invariably driven by the fairer sex. Funny not bumped into any of that. Yeah. Right, so we're just going to cross over the River Thames, actually. In fact, I may just stop for a second and take a picture of it, if there's anything worth taking. Nope, it's nearly dried up. So I'm going to start heading home. I'm about as far away as, what have I done now? About 10 miles, I guess. Nowadays, I always stop at any junction. Well, any junction where I have to give way, that is. I've got a bit of arthritis in my neck, I think. And I can't twist it around quite the way I used to. And traffic coming along quickly, to be honest, it's just not worth taking the risk. I always remember this next 100 yards or so has a bit of a dark side to it. A body was found in the woods to the left long time ago, but you always tend to remember these things. Did I say woods to the left? I meant woods to the right, actually. You'll notice I can go, I'm going to end up doing about 20 miles. And it's avoiding roads like this. I'm getting a few nods today. I don't know whether it's because I've got the yellow helmet on or something. Back onto a small road again. I'm just changing down because I don't want to labour the engine. Swerving the potholes here. So this is the main Tetbury to Cirencester road now. I'm going to avoid travelling on that at all, other than crossing it. Hedges are being cut back here in a fairly brutal way by the look of it. Nice place. Gatehouse, actually, that is. So this is the little hamlet of Coate, C-O-A-T-E-S for sugar. Put a route up actually. I might put a route of what I've done here up on Google from Google Maps, just in case somebody thought they might like to do the same little trip. I'm imagining it's going to turn out to be about 20 miles that I've done. Main thing is I wanted to check the audio system, but also I wanted to give the the YB a little run as well. Actually, I need fuel for the YB, thinking about it. So I think I'm going to have to go to Monmouth for it. That's a lengthen the route. Right, just coming in. Excuse me. Just coming up here used to be a pub called the Tunnel House Inn down here on the right. Sadly shut. COVID killed it. We're just going over the canal, or what was the canal, that joined the River Severn to the River Thames. And the canal used to go through a tunnel. And it was the longest tunnel in the world, I think I'm right in saying. At the time it was built, back in the 1700s. Fell into disrepair. They are trying to do something with the canal now. Where am I going to go now to go and get my fuel? Well, I'm going to go further down. Still trying to keep off the main roads. Another horse that can't be controlled. I mean, honestly, they should not be on the road. She's controlling it, but I mean, this is dangerous. If I'd just ridden past, there'd have been a problem. Sorry? All right. Yeah, it's... Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, it's all very well, but it's dangerous for her. Dangerous for the horse. And dangerous for people in cars. Actually, perhaps I'll go down to Nailsworth and get some fuel. It'll still mean I've got I'm going to have to get onto a main road at some point. But yeah, I've got the routes in my head. I'm going to go down here to Cherrington. From Cherrington I'm going to go across to Minchinhampton. Minchinhampton down to Nailsworth, get the fuel. And then I'm going to have to go then got no choice. I've got to take the road up to Avening from Nailsworth. Then there's a little narrow road I can nip up that'll take me out opposite where I live, more or less. just after 11:30. I could go right, but it would take me on more busier roads, so I'm not going to. I'm going to go this way. Keep it to the minimum. This is going to take me down to the walking place. Perhaps I'll go out there this afternoon and have a walk. This is where I walk out to. This is where I used to walk out to. I've got to give it a go again sometime. Don't want to labour the engine, I know I've said that before, but this is probably, well, this is the longest run I've done on it since I've had it back. This is a bit of a nasty turning here, especially if you happen to be coming the other way. Oh, my backside's hurting a bit. I managed to start in second. Don't know if these batteries are going to last, but still. Somebody kindly pulling in for me. Rebuilding this wall here. It's a hell of a job to do it, I tell you. It's they don't get more than a couple of feet a day, if that. And past my friends, Robert and Anne's place. Don't know if they're outside, they never are. This is just about the steepest hill around here, actually. Oh, thank goodness. No water. So the thing is, will this bike do the NACC, National Auto Cycle and Cycle Motor Club? Will it do their coast to coast next year? That's what I'm thinking of doing. I realise this is not an auto cycle or cycle motor, but anybody's allowed to participate as long as they've got something smaller engined. So what I got in mind is we would ride up to Hartlepool, and that's where the run starts from. Probably take 2 nights to get up there. Yeah, so then you set off from Hartlepool to Whitehaven in the Lake District, and go across the Peak District, stopping at, I think it's Alstone or Alston in the middle of England. So I'd have 2 nights on the way up. Oh, here we go, cyclists again. So on the left here is Gatcombe Park. Gatcombe Park is the home of Princess Anne, the hardest working royal apparently, and she's recovering from being knocked down and knocked out by a horse. My wife, the present Mrs. Little, told me she was out on a meet and greet the other day, sporting a black eye. So she was kicked in the head. That is not a good thing, especially for a lady of 73 or 4. Always think this bush looks lovely, this on the left here. So we're sort of coming into Minchinhampton now, over the cattle grid. Funny little place, Minchinhampton. Again, very Cotswold, massive potholes everywhere. That's the one good thing about riding this bike. I'm going so slow I can get around the potholes, as you can see what it's like here. Bloody terrible. Look at it. Horrendous. Minchin Hampton Common, Hampton Green. Oh, just going past a cafe here in a minute. It was an old pub, it's now turned into a cafe. I hope it's still open. Not for today though. Used to go in there with my old mum. So, we're on a busy road for a while, unfortunately. Got to get some fuel. Otherwise I won't have enough for the run on Wednesday. Like the Alps. So I'm going to get fuel, and I only get high grade E5 99 with no ethanol in it, or 97 they can get, but I don't have the E10 if I can possibly help it. You can feel the difference. Here we are at the Shell station. They certainly know how to charge for fuel here. No pleasure riding on roads like this, even with a big bike. I will take the slightly quieter Nailsworth to Tetbury Evening Road. Then I'll get a few miles up here and I will be able to go up another little tiny road, necessitating first gear. I'm actually in first gear at the moment, I think, yeah. I was in second gear. Remember coming up here once before I went to Ireland. So 2 years ago. I was just testing how much I could get on reserve, and I was pretty certain I was going to be able to get home from here, but in the end ran out of fuel. So basically, I ran out of fuel just a bit further up the road, so I managed to push the bike down to here. My intention in the end was to push it to that garage, which would have been a bit of a struggle, as we said. Anyway, this guy came along and offered me a lift, which I gladly accepted, only to find the poor chap was pretty deaf. He knew I was grateful, but you could hear hardly a word of what I was saying, so I didn't finish the story about the coast to coast. So the deal is you have a couple of nights on the way up. Well, it depends who I'm with. If anybody comes with me, I could probably get to Hartlepool on my own with one night away on the way up. Then you have a second night in Hartlepool, third night in Alston on the actual run itself, fourth night in Whitehaven, and then that's the end of the run. But my intention at that point is to do the Hard Knock Pass. So the Hard Knock Pass, in my opinion, I've driven it many times, never ridden it, is probably the most tricky route in the UK in terms of cambers, steepness, sharp bends, corners, sharp bends, and oncoming traffic. Having done the Applecross Pass last year, which isn't the proper name for it, I know. The Applecross Pass was nothing like as difficult as I imagined on this bike. But the Hard Knock Pass is a whole different kettle of fish. Although I'm absolutely confident the YB will go up there. I'd much rather be on the YB than on a 1250 GS or something, because if you go onto YouTube and look at accidents on the Hard Knock Pass, you will see umpteen of them. Little bike is much easier to control than a big bike. Right, I'm going up here. in second at the moment. Third. Yeah, it's going up in second gear, fine. It's not labouring, it's not over-revving. So after I'd done the hard knock pass, it's then a question of heading home. If you really wanted to, you could probably stay the night, well, either in the Lake District, or if you have pressure to get back to your better half, I could stay again in the North, Preston North Premier Inn, and I know theoretically I can get back in a day from there, but I wouldn't want to. It was a horrible ride. Yeah, it was a horrible ride. Too far, 200 miles it is, and 200 miles in a day on a YB is a lot. So I reckon I've done about 40 miles, sorry, no, 30 miles. Just over 30 miles it'll be actually. And I would say no more than 3 miles have been on busy roads. Had I not had to get any fuel, none of it would have been on busy roads. But of course, fuel stations tend to be on busy roads. So that's unfortunately the way it is. Am I pleased with the bike? Emphatically, yes, I am pleased with the bike. I've not pushed it at all. I mean, with me on it, it's a maximum of 45. Does it feel like it will go up to Scotland again? Possibly, but it won't be. Right, so nearly home. Just along here I'd turn the petrol tap off so as to empty the carburetor. Whoops. Car in the way. Right, now I've got to push it up the drive. Normally I'd like to ride it up. Come on, you bugger. Up we go. Oops. He's up. Right. Now let's see if any of this audio has come out. So this is how it works. It goes into here and into a microphone up there. There's the DJI Action 4. Still filming. And there's the 360 on the back. It's too bright for me to see whether it's still filming or not. But it should have some decent images and hopefully some decent audio, because I don't think I'm going to get decent audio. Anyway, there she is. Very happy with it. All ready for Wednesday.